everyone, this is Orna Rana here, your social science teacher from Cambridge International School, Dasua. I welcome you all in today's session. Dear children, I hope you all are happy, healthy, safe at your home. So as you know that we have completed our syllabus, okay, and now we have started the revision. So first of all, we are going to do the revision of history chapter 11 as suggested by you people, as discussed with you. And the chapter is buildings, paintings and books. So first of all, we are going to discuss about the lessons objectives. So let's start. Today's lessons objectives: to know the different buildings, to know about the paintings of Ajanta, to know about the different books on different subjects, and to know about the invention of paper. Lessons outcomes: at the end of the lesson, the students will be able to know the different buildings. They will also know about the paintings of Ajanta and the different books on different subjects, and at last they will also know about the invention of paper. So dear children, let's start first of all with the iron pillar. As you can see on the screen also, this is the iron pillar which is situated at Mehrauli, Delhi, and it is made of iron. Its height is 7.2 meter and its weight is over 3 tons. It has been made about 1500 years ago. And how do we came to know this? With the help of the inscription of the Gupta ruler. There is one inscription on this pillar which is mentioning that the king Chandragupta, and he belonged to the Gupta dynasty. So from that inscription we came to know that this iron pillar has been made about 1500 years ago. And one very interesting thing about this pillar is that it has not been rusted yet. Okay, this pillar has not been rusted yet. Now come to the next topic, that is stupas. Stupas means a mound. Mound means a pile of something. Okay, so how the stupas are prepared? The stupas are prepared, first of all we take one relic casket. So let us see what is the relic casket. Relic casket, it is a box which contains the bodily remains such as teeth, bone or ashes, okay, of Buddha or his followers, or the things they used, as well as precious stones and coins. And this relic casket, it is placed at the center of the stupa. Okay, then a layer of mud that is applied on it. Some bricks, stone slabs, they can also be used to give it a dome like structure. And then outside this there is a pradakshina path. Pradakshina path means a path laid around the stupa, that is called pradakshina path, and the devotees, they can walk around the stupa in a clockwise direction as a mark of devotion. So these are the two main things of the stupa. Okay, one is the relic casket and second is the pradakshina path. Now you can see on your screen there is one image which is one of the most famous stupa, that is the Sanchi stupa in Madhya Pradesh. Now you can see this dome like structure. This is the stupa, and outside it there is railing which is showing that that is a pradakshina path, and outermost you will find again some railing, that is the boundary, and there is one gate also. Okay, so that's all about this. Now next topic, that is temples. You might have discussed about temples in this chapter. Okay, so the temples have 2-3 main features. One is shikhara. Shikhara means the tower on the top of the Garbhagriha of a temple. So firstly let us discuss what is Garbhagriha. Garbhagriha is the main or the central room of the temple where the image of the chief deity is placed. Whenever we are visiting any temple, we will find there is a main room of the temple where the deity, the chief deity, that image has been placed. That is known as the Garbhagriha. And Shikhara, it is a tower on the top of that Garbhagriha outside the temple. Okay. And next is Mandapa. Mandapa is a hall in the temple where people could assemble. Okay, where they can do the prayer, they can do the other things also. So that is the Mandapa. And in this chapter, we have discussed about two, three temples. One is the temple at Bhitargaon, where we have found the Shikhara on it. And then we have also discussed about the Durga temple at Aihole and the monolithic temples at Mahabalipuram. So let us discuss about these monolithic temples. Mono means one, lithic means stone. So the temples which are made up of only one single stone or big rock, they are known as monolithic temples, and they have been found at Mahabalipuram. Okay, these are the finest example of the sculptures. Now next we have paintings at Ajanta. Okay, so if you people have visited this place, you might be aware. Okay, paintings at Ajanta caves, they are in Maharashtra. Okay, there are almost 30 caves which have been hollowed out of the hills over centuries, and these were the Buddhist monasteries. Okay, and a few of these were decorated with paintings, and these were made with the help of torches because these caves are very dark inside. So, and the colors used were made up of plants and minerals, and these colors are vivid even after 1500 years. Dear children, on your screen there is one image which is showing the paintings at Ajanta, and you can see how beautifully it has been made. And the artists, those who have made these paintings, they are still unknown. So let's move to our next topic, that is Aryabhatta. So Aryabhatta, as we all know, that he was a great mathematician and astronomer, and he has also written a book in Sanskrit which is known as Aryabhatiam. Okay, and he stated that day and night were caused by the rotation of the earth on its axis, even though it seems as if the sun is rising and setting every day. He also developed a scientific explanation for eclipses as well, the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse. Varamihira, Brahmagupta, and Bhaskaracharya, these were also some other mathematicians and astronomers who made several discoveries. Now let us discuss about zero. Zero, that is a digit in the number system. So while we were using the numerals earlier also, like 1 to 9, the mathematicians in India, they have invented a special symbol for zero, and this system of counting was adapted by the Arab and then spread to Europe. It continues to be in use throughout the world. Next we have Ayurveda. Ayurveda is a well-known system of health science that has been developed in ancient India, and there were the two famous practitioners of Ayurveda in ancient India, and one was Charaka and second was Shushruta. So there is a book Chark Samhita which was written by Charaka, and it is a remarkable book on medicine. And second one is Shushruta Samhita, that is about the he's talking about the elaborate surgical procedures. So you can see in this image also. Okay, now we are going to discuss about a few famous books, okay, and about their authors also. So as you can see, the first book given here, that is Ramayana. Ramayana, we know very well. This is the story of Lord Rama's life, and he was the prince of Ayodhya. Later on, he went to exile for 14 years, and there his wife was abducted by the king of Lanka, that is Ravan, and later on there is a fight between these two, and Rama, he won the war and he came back to Ayodhya with his wife. So that's all about the story of Lord Rama's life, and it has been written by Maharishi Valmiki. Next, we have Mahabharata. Mahabharata is a story of Kauravas and Pandavas, and they just want to win over the throne of Hastinapur. And it was written by Ved Vyas. So these both books, Ramayana and Mahabharata, they are the Sanskrit epics, and they are the religious books of Hindus. Again, I am repeating, Ramayana, it was written by Valmiki, and Mahabharata, it was written by Ved Vyas. Next is Aryabhatiam. Aryabhatiam, as we have discussed about Aryabhatta, so Aryabhatta has written this book Aryabhatiam in Sanskrit. Next we have Mani Mekalai. Mani Mekalai is a Tamil epic, and it has been written by Satanar. In Mani Mekalai, we are going to find the story of the daughter of Kovalan and Madhvi. Shilapadikaram is also a Tamil epic which was written by Elango. In Shilapadikaram, we will come to know about Kovalan. Kovalan is a merchant, and about his wife, Kannagi. Okay, they were earlier living in Puhar, and then later on they went to Madurai, where he was wrongly accused of the theft, and later on he was given the death sentence. And his wife Kannagi, he has destroyed the whole city of Madurai in anger. So in this we will find the story of Kovalan and Kannagi. Shila Padikaram is written by Ilengo. Next we have Puranas. Puranas were also written by Ved Vyas. Puranas literally means old. So in Puranas we will find the old stories related to gods and goddesses. Okay, and these Puranas were written by Ved Vyas. Next is Chark Samhita. Chark Samhita, as we have discussed about Charka, he is Ayurveda practitioner, and this book is on medicine. Next is Shushruta Samhita. It was written by Shushruta, and here we will find different surgical procedures. Next is Meghdhuta. Meghdhuta is a poem which was written by Kalidasa. Kalidasa we have discussed in the previous chapter also, and there was one play, Avigyan Shakuntalam, that also we have discussed in that chapter. So Meghdhuta is a poem. Megh means cloud, Duta means messenger. So here in this poem, the cloud has been described as a messenger between the two separated lovers. Okay, the cloud is carrying the message of these two lovers. So dear children, that's all about these books, and you can also try to frame such table in your notebook so that it can be easy for you to learn it. Okay, these all books, these are very important, and you must remember their name and the authors also. Okay, so I hope this table is going to help you, and you can also prepare the same table. Okay, yes. Now next, the last topic of this chapter, that is elsewhere, and here they are talking about the paper. So the books we read are printed on paper, and we use paper for writing. Okay, but it has not been there earlier, and it was invented in China about 1900 years ago by a man named Kai Lun. And how he has prepared it? He beat plant fibers, cloth, rope, and the bark of trees, soaked these in water and then pressed, drained, and dried the pulp to create paper. Even today, handmade paper is made through a similar process. So that's all about this. Now let us do some exercise which is given in the back of this chapter. Match the following is there, and here I have written with answers. Stupa we have discussed, that is a mound. Mound means a pile of something. Shikhra, it was a tower. Mandapa is a place in temples where people could assemble. Garbhagriha is a place where the image of the deity is installed. Pradakshina path is the circular path around the stupa. I hope you all have done this exercise in your book. Now next we have fill in the blanks. So in the fill in the blanks, the first one is Dash was a great astronomer, and answer is Aryabhatta. Okay, Aryabhatta was a great astronomer. Next we have stories about gods and goddesses are found in the dash, that is Puranas. Okay, what is your answer? Puranas. Next is Dash is recognized as the author of the Sanskrit Ramayana. We have discussed about it, that is Valmiki. Next is Dash and Dash are two Tamil epics. We have discussed now. One is Shilapadikaram and next is Mani Mekale. There is one more question from your back exercise, that is make a list of the chapters in which you find mention of metal working. What are the metals objects mentioned or shown in those chapters? So in chapters 7, 8 and 4, they have mentioned about the metal working, and the metal objects mentioned in those chapters were axe, plowshare, sickle and sword. These metals were used for various purposes. Axe was used for cutting wood, plowshare and sickle was used for farming, and sword was used for wars. So, dear children, that's all about this chapter. Okay, we have discussed this chapter in online classes also, and this was a revision session. So, I hope I have cleared most of the things, and you can also carry on your revision. Just do the reading, do the like revise all the worksheets and whatever the other material has been provided to you. And still, you people have any doubt, then you can discuss with us. Thank you, everyone. God bless you all.